Alrighty guys, what is up? Welcome back to Minecraft, and today we're going to be taking a look at how to build a subtractor. To start off with, I just want to show you what I have built, which is a 5-bit subtractor. Basically the way this works is you tell it what number you want to subtract from with the left-hand switch, and you tell what number you're subtracting by with the right-hand switch. So kind of the way this works, since I've got 5 bits, it goes up to 16 as our largest number. If I flip these two, so the 16 and the 8 left-hand switch, that's going to be equal to 24. So you can tell because that's 16 plus 8 is 24. If we were to subtract 4, it should show 20, which, let's see, 16 plus 4 is 20. If we subtract another 2, that'll take it to 18, which is going to be 16 plus 2. If we subtract another 1, should take it to 17, so 16 plus 1 is 17, and it'll do any combination of these, whatever, not too big of a deal. So that is basically how the subtractor works. Now let's kind of take a look at how to build it. I'm sure you're seeing all this redstone and structure bullshit and you're thinking, oh my god, this looks insane, and it really isn't. So let's just fly over here a bit, and we're gonna just do a 4-bit, I think, because it's a little bit quicker to build, and the gate's on this side. Okay, so to start off with, we're going to build an Xor Gate. So pretty easy, throw down your torches like so, just like that, throw in your redstone. Okay, there's your Xor Gate. Now we are going to modify it, so on these are your inputs here, so this will be bit 1. Throw down a sign so I can keep track, because once you get a bunch of bits, it's not always the easiest to keep track of. So this is bit number 1. Cool. So on the left-hand input, what you need to do is throw another torch on the side, put a block on top of it, throw a torch on top of that block, then across the top, throw down a redstone, put a block right there so it doesn't connect, go across like so, do that, then put a torch right there, put a block there with redstone on it. Okay, last but not least, you connect up this line right across so it goes into that torch, and that is the first Xor Gate of our subtractor. Next, what you are going to do is build another Xor Gate, like so. Cool. And it basically is literally a mirror image of the one behind it, so as long as you know how to build an Xor Gate like this, you should be able to do this. So throw the torch on the side again, put one on top, put another torch there, then we gotta connect up the redstone, so boom, 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 boom. And then what I do is add an extra block so it's in line, put your torch there, break that, put a block, and there's that. And you just have to connect the top. Cool. So this will be our ones output. So let's just build our lamp structure that I like. I'm going up 4 high so you can see it over the top, and I have been putting the numbers on it as well so you can, see it on the inputs and the outputs, what you're looking at. Okay, so that is 1 bit. That is a 1-bit subtractor. Not super useful as it is right now because all you can do is 1 minus 1 is 0, or 0 minus 1 will turn on this line, indicating that it's negative 1, right? Okay, so that is the first bit. In order to build a second bit, what I do is I count over 3, and then build, basically, you copy this and build it again, and that will give you your second bit, so you can calculate with 1s and 2s, instead of just 1s. So just throw down these torches quickly. Because what I want to do is build a 4-bit one, just so we can kind of see how it all works. 4 bits is kind of a good starting point most of the time. I like to think, anyway. So, whatever. Let's throw this as R2. Cool. And what's different about this than the first one is how we connect the secondary input. So on that first one, it just has 1 line going into the second Xor Gate, right? This one is going to have 2 lines going in. So we'll show that in just a second when we get there. But that is basically how you chain these together. is like so. Okay, now let's build our second Xor Gate. Just like this. And the difference here is going to be, we're going to take this line. That's kind of just, this is, it's like your carryout. I think it's called the borrowed number since it's a subtractor. But you feed that into this side of the Xor Gate, and then you have the input right there. So, okay. So do this, finish building the actual gate, and throw down your inverter. That's what this piece is basically, just an inverter, not a big deal. I'm just trying to inform you as to what you're actually constructing as we go along. So put this guy back out. Oh, alright, that's cool. Got a llama watching us build a computer, or a subtractor rather. That's always fun. You know what? Shut up, bro. I might have to get a diamond sword up in here and kill you if you don't be quiet. Okay, here we go. This is bit number 2. Awesome. And you can obviously add more pieces of these, so you can subtract, you know, as many numbers as you want. I'm just going to go up, so our last bit's going to be a value of 8, so we'll be able to go, you know, numbers including 1, 2, 4, and 8. That's the plan anyway. So connect these out to 2 more inputs, and this is going to be for 4, just like that. Okay, boom. So it does take a little bit of time to actually lay out all the blocks in the redstone, just because it is a fairly complex circuit that you're building here. So just bear that in mind. Like if you're trying to do this in a, you know, survival mode, you're going to need to have a fair amount of redstone in order to complete this, but not a big deal, all things considered. So we're going to build this guy like so. I'm just trying to do all the torches first and then throw in the redstone dust after. Just helps you kind of keep track of where you're at, or at least it does for me. I don't know, maybe not, maybe it doesn't for everyone else, but whatever, who cares. So hook that bad boy up. We can bring this one in, and then we need those 2 pieces. Go out, build our lamp. And this is going to be for bit number 4. And you don't have to put the lamps or the signs, you know, like, you can tell just off of the redstone, like, if it's glowing, that means it's outputting the bit. If it's not, then it's not. Anyway, so let's add in our 4th bit, and we should be ready to test it out and see if the subtraction actually works. So this is a great little subtractor, I will say. Most people typically, you know, try to take an adder and convert it to a subtractor, so it takes longer to process the information. Since this is a direct circuit, it will be a lot faster than that methodology, and that's why I'm showing you this way instead. It's just a better system. It uses a little bit less space. It's a little bit, well, it's faster on the processing for sure. So, you know, like if you're trying to build an actual computer in Minecraft, like you want to have it process things quickly, otherwise you're going to be waiting a while to get your output, you know, whatever that may be. So, just about finished here. I know it's fairly repetitive, so like once you learn how to construct the 2 Xor gates and like where all the inputs connect, you can do it relatively quickly. But yeah, that's kind of how it goes. So boom, boom, boom. Throw in our redstones. Connect this guy. And just bridge the top. And we'll show you on the we'll do a negative number subtraction with this one, just so you can kind of see how that looks. So when you do subtract a negative number, it is a little bit weird in my opinion, just because it doesn't clear out all of the bits. It basically, like, I'll show you when we do it. It's hard to explain, I guess, but so this is number 8. Cool. And we just got to hook up our output, and then we have to hook up the negative line, which is here. So by using this kind of setup, not only can you subtract, you know, positive figures, but you can go and subtract into negative numbers as well. And basically when this carry out or borrow out is lit, it means that it's negative instead of positive. But that is our 4-bit subtractor built. So that's how you would do it. You basically you take a 1-bit subtractor, which is this guy right here, and the carry out input that you normally would have just feeds into the second input of the second Xor gate in the next bit subtractor. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Basically, like, if we look at this one, for example, it just has the 1 going into the left-hand side of this second Xor gate, whereas this one, it still has the bit going into the left-hand side, but then it has the carry-out going into the right-hand side. So that's how you add subtracting bits together, is just by connecting the carry-out into the carry-in sector. So, like, technically speaking, we could bump all of these up by 1 bit if I was to add this line right here. That's the carry-in, or the borrow-in, whatever you want to call it. If we built another set of Xor gates here, it would increase all of these by 1 bit count. But we're not going to do that because we don't need to. So let's do something easy. Let's show you the negative first. So right now we have 0 subtracted from 1. So it does light all of them, it looks like, but since that is negative, we know that this is -1. That's what I mean by it's a little bit weird. So 0 minus 2, it like lights all the bits, and then the one that it ends on is the actual number. So, like, for example, let's say we do 4 minus 8 should be -4. So the 4-bit is the last one lit, and the negative is on. So the reason why all these are turned on is because the carry-out signal just passes through into the next bit. I'm not sure exactly what you would do to try to change that, but it's okay. So this is -8 because we're subtracting 8 from 0. But let's do some other operations. So 8 plus 4 is 12, so we can see that there. If we subtract 1, it should give us 11, which will be 8 plus 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11. If we subtract 2, that'll give us 9, so 8 plus 1 is 9. If we subtract 4, that'll give us 5, so 4 plus 1 is 5. So this is basically how a subtractor will work for you. The most important thing to keep in mind when you're using one of these is the left-hand switch is to add to the number you're subtracting from, and the right-hand switch is to add to the number you're subtracting with. If you get those confused, you're not, like, it won't look like it's outputting correctly. If you built the gates the right way, it is. You just are confused on what number is being subtracted from what. But guys, that is my coverage on how to build a subtractor using redstone in Minecraft. Now that, we basically, if you've watched the entire little series that we've got on Minecraft Redstone, you now effectively have all the pieces you need in order to build a functioning computer in Minecraft. You've got the adder, the subtractor, you've got RAM, you've got multiplexers, and all the logic gates needed to kind of make that work. So if you are ambitious and want to try to build a computer, you definitely can by stacking these various circuits that we've constructed together. You can effectively build things with redstone to output simple calculations. Like, you could build a calculator with the subtractor and adder pieces put together, and then if you use RAM, you can store the result of the calculation, things like that. So those are just some examples of how you would apply these more advanced circuits in, when you're playing Minecraft. So, like, if you want to have a visual counter, for example, you could do that with an adder as well. If you want to have, well, we already said calculator, but anyway, those are kind of the big uses that come to mind for me. I'm sure there's literally infinite uses for this kind of stuff. It's just all dependent on how creative you can be and how much you understand digital logic. So guys, with that, if you enjoyed the episode today, be sure to like, comment, subscribe as always, and until next time, this has been Lone Debater 7, and we will see ya.